So, party people, it is time to do what I talked about, what I've been thinking about doing for probably the last year and a half, which of course is showcase all the places around Pensacola where I buy records, where I think it's a good place to buy records. Now, there's quite a few places I've got listed and that are in the video. Obviously, you've seen the length maybe, and it is quite a long video, but I've got it set down in chapters. So yeah, do that. Oh, and by the way, it's not set up as any sort of favoritism. Just because one place is listed above, first, and the next place is listed second, doesn't mean that I like the first one better, or vice versa, or whatever. It's just the way I chose to do them. Also, bear in mind, I was going to sort of do them all kind of together, but I decided to make sort of a part one, which is the record shops, the record stores in Pensacola, in Northwest Florida. And then the second part is kind of the antique shops. Now, that doesn't mean I like the record stores more than I like the antique shops. Actually, far from it. In fact, probably 75% of my record collection, which numbers in the thousands, I have bought from the antique shops. A lot of reasons, because you can get great prices, you can find unique albums, all these kinds of things. Typically great prices is kind of the big thing. But in any case, let's go through and let's do it. So yeah, here we go. So first and foremost is going to be the music box. Now, the music box actually has a new owner, a gentleman who bought it about a year ago, roughly speaking. A great guy, really into metal and kind of heavy metal type music, but suffice it to say, they've got a great selection. A lot of new records, a lot of reissues, that type of thing, but a lot of used vinyl as well. They do tend to be primarily kind of more in the classic rock type, genre of what a lot of what they carry, but they do have everything. They have a lot of great jazz selection. They have some great country selection, great classical as well, and you can actually get good prices on their classical. They of course have new records as well from newer artists and that sort of thing also. Interestingly, they have probably the most CDs for sale of any record store in town. There isn't a record store anywhere I can think of within 100 miles of here that has more CDs than the music box. But anyway, let's take a look.
When there's so much trouble that you wanna cry, the world has crumbled and you don't know why. When your hopes are fading and they can't be found, dreams are left you waiting, friends will let you down. Just remember I love you and it'll be alright. Just remember I love you more than I can say.
Next one, of course, is Revolver. Revolver Records, run by a gentleman named Eric. Sometimes he goes by the nickname Elvis. I'm not sure why, but in any case, Elvis, Eric, he's been in business a long time. He's probably the longest running record store in Pensacola. Looking at the gentleman, he's one of those examples of where he looks really young, but he's actually older way older than he looks. No offense to you, Eric. But anyway, great guy, very, very nice. And the shop is very, very nice as well. The one thing I love about the shop is that he carries a lot of everything for everybody. There isn't one particular genre that he tends to favor over anything else. Jazz he's got, funk, he's got rhythm and blues, he's got the blues, he's got, good alternative and rock and classic rock and basically any genre under the sun, hip hop and funk and all those sorts of things. Anything you can imagine he has. He does tend to have more new records as opposed to used records. However, he does have some great used records as well. And another great thing about him is he's always ready to kind of wheel and deal in terms of having trade-ins, and he buys records and all that kinds of things, and you can kind of put it towards purchases and things like that. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look.
Woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Around the curve, come a passenger train. Heard somebody yodel and a hobo moan. Jimmy, he dead, he been a long time gone, been a long time gone. A long time gone. If you want to get to heaven, got a D.I.E. You gotta put on your coat and T.I.E. Wanna get the rabbit out of L.O.G. You gotta make a cold motion like a D.O.G. Like a D.O.G. Like a D.O.G. I got a good woman, what's the matter with me? What makes me wanna love every woman I see? I was trapping when I met her, now I'm trapping again. And every woman she sees look like a place I came in, look like a place I came in. Yeah. Woo. Place I came in. I got my name painted on my shirt. I ain't no ordinary dude. I don't have to work. I don't have to work.
The next one on the list is going to be Easygoing Records. Now, this is actually, I was going to say Pensacola's newest shop, but actually it isn't. That's another one coming up. But anyway, Easygoing Records, it's been open for a couple of years now, and Easygoing has a lot of good things going for it. One in particular is they have a lot of cool records. And when I say cool records, I mean the kind of the hip, now what's popular, what people are listening to on vinyl, they have it. They have all the cool, you know, jazz fusion, jazz funk albums. They have it. They have a lot of cool Japanese pop albums. They've got it. A lot of cool electronic albums. They've got it. They've got a lot of cool albums. Another great thing about Easygoing, kind of goes along with that, is, you know, if you're looking for that super rare, hard to find album that you never thought you would ever see in the flesh, he's probably got it. So yeah, they definitely have that going for them. And they also sell equipment. They're one of the few shops in Northwest Florida, in the Panhandle area, that has equipment that I'm aware of. There is a couple others, but they have great equipment. The majority of it's been refurbished. But anyway, let's take a look.
Matt is the captain of Alpha Centauri. We must be out of our minds. Though we are shipmates and bound for tomorrow, everyone here's flying blind. But we must believe in magic. We must believe in the guiding hand. 'Cause if you believe in magic, you have the universe at your command. Matt is the crew bound for Alpha Centauri. Dreamers and poets and clowns. But bold is the ship bound for Alpha Centauri, and nothing can turn it around. We must believe in magic. We must believe in the guiding hand. 'Cause if you believe in magic, you have the universe at your command. We must believe in magic. We must believe in the guiding hand. 'Cause if you believe in magic, you have the universe at your command. We must believe in magic. We must believe in the guiding hand. 'Cause if you believe in magic, you have the universe at your command.
So now, of course, we move on to the next record store. That is going to be Vinyl Heaven. Now, Vinyl Heaven is a newer shop. It's actually been open maybe a year or so, maybe just slightly longer. The gentleman who owns it, I think his name is TJ. Really, really cool guy, or TC, I sort of forget. But really cool guy and really awesome. And the great thing about the shop, beyond the selection, because he does have a huge selection, is just the amount of records that every time I go in there and I'm looking through and it's like, oh, I didn't know this one existed, or man, I thought I would have to order this one. I never knew this one could be in Pensacola, but he's got it, and he's got a lot of stuff like that. A lot of great jazz records. I've been buying a ton of jazz from him because it's just stuff that, you know, I just don't normally see at other shops or at antique stores. Really, really an eclectic selection and a lot of hard to find releases. He does charge accordingly, but you can get bargains as well, that type of thing. But stuff is kind of mixed up a little bit too, so you definitely want to spend some time in there and definitely dig through, and you'll definitely find some treasures for sure. And he also has equipment. He is one of the shops in Northwest Florida that does have equipment, and he's always buying equipment, so he's always getting stuff, whether that be speakers or amps or receivers or whatever. But anyway, let's take a look.
Yes, this loving kind of business might be the best find you ever had. The best find you ever had. Some people are crazy. Some people are just plain good. Some people talk woodness and goodness. Some people don't do as they should. But this loving kind of business might make your poor heart glad. Yeah, this loving kind of business might be the best thing that you ever had. The best find you ever had. Some people got a glass eye. Some people got a window to watch. Some people draw conclusions like curtains. Oh, don't they draw them tight? 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 Oh, some people are crazy about him. Some people they can't stand his face. Some people laugh when they know it's coming. Some people chase him out of the place. Some people are crazy. Some people are just like me. Some people are crazy. Some people just like
The next one, of course, is going to be Remember Wynn. That's W-Y-N-N, which is the last name of the owner, so kind of a play on words there. But yeah, a great record store. It's been open for quite some time, quite a few years. But yeah, very, very nice. And it's one of those shops where you never know what you're going to find when you go in there. Now, of course, he can order you stuff, that type of thing. But generally speaking, he always has new records, but he has a huge selection of used records. Huge, absolutely massive selection. And as you'll see in the video, there's stuff tucked behind and away and under and behind and underneath and all kinds of stuff. There's stuff everywhere in there and packed into every nook and cranny in that shop. But really a good shop, definitely to spend some time, definitely to be digging. It's, in my opinion, not the kind of shop that you go into looking for a particular record. Now, you might find it, but generally speaking, it's the kind of shop you go into just to kind of hunt and peck and kind of see if you can find that treasure that you've been looking for, that rare record or that one that's just missing from your collection or whatever. But yeah, definitely a good shop regardless. So let's take a look.
of 59, I was young and cool and shot a bad game of pool and hustled all the chumps I could find. Well, now they call me sport, cause I pushed the bar short and loved all the women to death. I partied hard and packed a mean rod and could knock you out with a right or a left. I had learned to shoot pool, playing hooky from school at the tender age of 9. And by the time I was 11, I could pad roll 7 and down me a whole quart of wine. I was making it a point to smoke me a joint at least once during the course of a day. And I was snorting scag while other kids played tag. And my elders went to church to pray. I pitched pennies and down bennies and played the horses at the track. I wanted cards against tremendous odds, and my favorite game was blackjack. I seldom lost cause my game was so boss. I mean, I had my shit down pat, and I was running through bitches like rags to riches, cause that's where my heart was at. Yes, I was a down stud's dream, a hustler supreme. There wasn't no game that I couldn't play, and if I caught a dude cheating, I would give him a beating, and I might even blow him away.
It's time to start with the antique stores, and I did only pick 4 antique stores because they tend to have the best selection of vinyl that I've found. There are others, of course, that do have records and things like that. As some of you might know, antique stores for vinyl records or music in general tend to be kind of a hunt and peck type thing. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. That's just kind of the nature of going to an antique store for your vinyl record. But anyway, let's start with the first one, of course. That is Flip Flops. Flip Flops Antiques. And a nice antique store. They actually just redid it not long ago. I like going in there because there's several booths that have great prices. Great prices. A lot of times we're talking $5, $6 a record. And then beyond that, a lot of times they're 20% off, 40% off, 50% off. So we're talking you can get good records for $2, $3 an album. So we're talking good prices. And we're not talking junk either. We're not talking, Guy Lombardo or Andre Kosterlanks or any of that stuff. We're talking about decent records. Now, of course, it being an antique store, you do have to kind of hunt and pack, and you do have to spend some time and kind of dig and sort of find the good stuff. But you can find the good stuff. And of course, what constitutes good stuff is all up to the individual person. But anyway, definitely a great place to spend a couple of hours kind of searching through everything. And one of the booths in there has quite a bit of CDs. I mean, a huge amount of CDs. But anyway, let's look. The next one, of course, is going to be Coastal Treasures. Now, Coastal Treasures also just recently kind of had a redo, and there is only one record booth in there, but trust me when I say when you go in there, it's a great place to go only for that records. Now, of course, they have antiques and stuff, so that's fine if you're into that kind of thing. But for records, it's definitely worth it to go in there, even though they just have that one booth. Great selection, a lot of interesting records. You can find 80s stuff, the Police and Talking Heads and all kind of stuff in there, quite a bit. A lot of good classic rock albums you can find, and a lot of times $7, $8 an album. So you can get great prices on great records. Really, truly at Coastal Treasures. Anyway, let's take a look.
You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. Knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. Well, you can't go swimming in a baseball pool. You can't go swimming in a baseball pool. You can't go swimming in a baseball pool. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't change film with a kid on your back. You can't change film with a kid on your back. You can't change film with a kid on your back. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't drive around with a tiger in your car. You can't drive around with a tiger in your car. You can't drive around with a tiger in your car. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. Knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. Well, you can't roller skate in the buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in the buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in the buffalo herd. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. You can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. You can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't roller skate in the buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in the buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in the buffalo herd.
The next one is going to be probably one of my favorite antique stores I've gone to, or I go to on a regular basis, of course. That's Rosie's Antique Emporium. Now, Rosie's is a great place because, well, they have good records. And actually, as a matter of fact, the person who owns the main record booth in Rosie's Antiques is the same person that owns the record booth in Coastal Treasures. It's actually the same, it's a gentleman, it's the same guy. He just sort of splits up stuff between two. And it's kind of the same thing at Rosie's as it was as Coastal, in the sense of you can get a lot of great 80s releases, 90s releases, a lot of awesome classic rock, a lot of records that you go to other places, you go to a record shop and you know they're charging $20, $30 for this release. He's got 3 of them for $5 a piece. So, and they're all in great shape. So it's definitely behooves you to go to Rosie's because you can get great records at great prices. The last one is all about antiques. Now, this is a shop I don't go to a whole lot because, well, to be honest with you, I don't see the people stocking the records or the people that own the booths that put the records in there. I don't see them turning them over a whole lot. Now, that could be just people aren't buying them, so therefore they're not bringing newer stuff in. But suffice it to say, you can find great records in there. Matter of fact, there's one booth in particular where he's got a lot of cool gems, or the person that owns the booth has a lot of awesome records. And we're talking valuable records as well, in terms of like Dark Side of the Moon and a lot of Beatles releases. And we're talking OG, first pressing type stuff. So yeah, definitely good records, but of course, he charges accordingly, if you know what I mean. But there's some other stuff as well. There's another booth in there where they have a lot of 90s stuff like DJ and a lot of hip hop and that kind of stuff from the early 90s, which is really cool. And you don't see that a whole lot, or at least I don't at any of the other places. But yeah, let's take a look. Oh yeah, that is it for the Pensacola record tour. Now there are other places around in the general Northwest Florida, Southeast Alabama area that I go to look for records. Some of them I didn't have time to go to do the videos, or they were closed or whatever, so I didn't really want to mess with it or wait. I just kind of wanted to do the video. You know, one in particular is Fort Walton Vintage Records. Older gentleman owns the place. You can see the picture here. It's a great record store. He's got a huge selection. He sells equipment. He has a huge thing of 45s and CDs that he has that you can kind of peruse through, but a great place to kind of spend your time. And it's one of those things where it's one of those shops where he kind of knows what he has, and so he charges for it accordingly, or what the value, what the worth is. But beyond that, you can also sometimes find great records at ridiculous prices. So you can come away with bargains in there occasionally. So yeah, definitely from where I'm at in Pensacola, it's kind of a drive, and I don't get over there all that much, maybe once every couple months, but definitely worth the drive. And the other one I was going to mention was Crazy Bob. And Crazy Bob, and about 45 miles west of me is the town of Foley, Alabama. And Foley has a place called the Foley Indoor Flea Market. And there's a gentleman in there who calls himself Crazy Bob. And he's an older gentleman, and he has sort of a lot of knickknacks and all this kind of stuff. He has a huge amount of space that he rents out from the people that own the building. And it's basically like an indoor flea market. They're generally open, I think, every day except for Monday and Tuesday. But yeah, he's got a huge amount of space, and he's got tons of records. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Tons and tons of records. A huge amount of jazz. Actually, I would say a good 50% of my jazz has come from him, because every time I go over there, I see something that I didn't know he had that, oh man, I've been looking for this. And I get it. And it's only $10 or $8 or $5 or whatever. He's got a lot of international records, which is kind of odd, I think, for this area. He's got a lot of German records and a lot of like Brazilian and South American records and these sorts of things. A lot of cool stuff there. I've picked up a few like bongo and marimba records, you know, from that sort of you know, compilation type thing. But yeah, he's got a lot of stuff, and he's a cool guy. And like I said, I didn't have an opportunity to go over there because they're closed. But in any case, definitely feel free to check that out. And like I said, about 45 miles west of me where I live in Pensacola. But it is worth the drive, certainly. And it's one of my favorite places kind of in the Northwest Panhandle area. But anyway, that is it. Stay tuned for my farewell video. I'm going to be coming out with that probably in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and kind of going to be sort of artsy. I'm going to try to make it that way. But anyway, stay tuned for that.